Hello everyone, welcome to this fourth lecture on three-phase induction motor drive. In this lecture, we will learn about the operation of three-phase VFD drive. So three-phase VFDs are most popularly used drive. So we know that three-phase induction motors have various advantages over DC motor drive. The drawbacks of three-phase induction motor was to control the speed and to control torque and speed independently, but nowadays with VFD and vector control it has become more easy to control torque and speed independently. So here we can say that three-phase induction motor has started replacing DC motor drive, and in future you will see that maximum applications of DC motors will be implemented using three-phase induction motor drive. So let's get started with three-phase VFD. So here you can see three important blocks. So first we have a load, and that load is driving, we have a motor, that motor is driving some load, and to drive that three-phase induction motor we need V by F control. So we studied that by controlling V by F together it is possible to control the speed by keeping torque constant, because torque here is proportional to V by F. So what is our idea in this case is, let's say we are taking AC supply, either single phase or three phase. So this AC first has to be converted into the DC voltage using a rectifier that can be uncontrolled control rectifier. Then the DC voltage has to be converted into the AC voltage using three phase PWM inverter, voltage source inverter or current source inverter, and based on that we have three types of drives. Now the idea here is, in order to control the speed, we know one equation that the synchronous speed is given by 120 F by P and in order to control the speed we have to increase F, but as we increase the F, torque gets affected. So to keep the torque constant we have to control the V. That means assume that you have a motor whose specifications are 400 volt, 1500 rpm and 50 Hz rated frequency. In order to get 1500 rpm speed, let's say we will make three columns: speed here, then voltage, and third one with frequency, and assume that number of poles for this motor as 4. So the synchronous speed of this motor at rated frequency of 50 Hz would be 1500 rpm. So when we want rotor speed close to 1500 rpm, we have to keep the frequency close to 50 Hz. The voltage should be rated voltage, that means 400, and here we will get speed close to 1500 rpm. Speed will be less than that. For example, rotor speed will be less than 3% than synchronous speed, so it would be 1460 rpm. So this is called as voltage frequency control. So we applied maximum frequency and maximum voltage to get maximum speed. Let's say we want to drive that load at lesser speed, for example close to 730 rpm. So by mathematical equation we have one formula that the speed is controlled by controlling the frequency to 25 Hz. So here you can set the frequency to 25 and the corresponding voltage has to be dropped to 200 volt. So in these two cases you have assumed that the speed will decrease if you decrease the frequency here, but in that case you have to decrease the voltage also in proportion to the frequency, and the speed will decrease. Here we are making V by F constant, so the ratio of V by F in this case is 400 divided by 50, that is 8:1. So by doing this we have set the ratio of this as to 8:1. So here this inverter will do this task. So this inverter has to generate V and F parameters, so that V by F will be maintained constant and we will get constant torque operation. Now this voltage and frequency will be controlled by control card here, which is present inside your drive. Once the DC link voltage is maintained constant, the frequency will be controlled by controlling the conduction time of the switches, and voltage will be controlled by controlling the duty cycle. So here this drive has a panel. That drive is setting variable frequency and variable voltage control to get these variable speed operation. Now let us go into the detail. Now let us understand what are the different parts of three-phase induction motor. First one is it has a control unit. Second, it has power unit. Third is it has main unit. Control unit will be responsible for controlling the parameters of drive. You can program it. Power unit will be responsible for giving power to various units of drive. That means isolating power from low power and high power areas. And main circuit will actually do the task of power generation for drive application. So first we'll start with control panel. So here control panel is consisting of this keypad, and on this panel you can see various parameters: load, current, motor speed, frequency, ratio of V by F, and other parameters. So here in this figure you can see that frequency is 38.5 Hz. So this control panel has four parts: keypad, operator. So with this you can program the unit. You can set the minimum and maximum speed. You can set other parameters. You can set the rated frequency, you can lock it, or you can set the rated current. So there are various parameters which are available in drive, Siemens drive, ABB drive, and other drives. So you can do so many tasks. You can customize it as per your requirements. Next is you have an option card. Option cards are useful for enhancing the features of drive. So they are used for communication purpose, feedback encoders. They have also used for encoded IO ports. So here you can see them. Then we have IO terminals. So using these IO terminals you can interface this drive to different parts. So there are various pins available, analog or digital input output pins. So they are named here A1, A2, A3 here. Analog or digital output pins here, and you can also have some communication protocol. You can program them using a computer, or you can program it remotely. Next part of drive is called as brain of the drive, which is called as control card. So this control card is going to set required voltage and frequency. Now voltage is a function of duty cycle of the switches which are present inside the inverter, and frequency depends on the total time period taken by each phase to complete its one cycle. So these parameters VF, that is controlling load torque, load speed, load frequency, load voltage, all these things are actually controlled by user, but user is going to move some knobs, and these knobs will be controlling this VF and other parameters together. Now second unit is called as power unit. So this power unit separates high power and low power section. So here you can say that it is an analog or digital circuit, and in this you have microcontroller, you have a drive, so you need 5 volt supply, 10 volt supply, 12 volt supply for various parts. So it powers the various control boards which are available in your drive. Now third section is called as main circuit. So here main circuit is consisting of main power converters. So on input side you can see that you have a rectifier here. This will convert AC supply into a DC supply. So this is called as DC link here. So in this you have connected number of devices. First part is MOV. MOV will absorb the transients. Then we have a soft charger. So this soft charger circuit will take care of charging of this DC link capacitor. Then we have an inverter here which consists of 6 switches or IGBTs, and the inverter output is connected to the motor. So on this page you can see this. So here you will see this power unit. If you go in detail, let us go in detail. So power unit has first part, that is called as metal oxide varistor. As we know that when we take supply from AC side, this supply has got various transients. So if these transients appear inside the power devices, they may damage the devices due to over voltage or over current issues. In order to absorb all these transients, we have connected MOVs. So these are the MOVs which are connected here. MOVs look like this. They absorb this transients and they keep the other circuitry safe. Next part is rectifier. So rectifier will be converting AC supply into a DC supply. So here you can see that alternating voltages are converted into this. So this is a pulsating DC output. So it will be done using power diodes. So you have to select power diodes of required capacity as per your requirements. Then next part is DC bus link. So this DC bus link will act as reservoir for this inverter. That means in order to get the constant voltage, constant frequency here, it is expected that the DC link voltage should remain constant. So this DC link voltage should remain constant, so that will be maintained constant by using this DC link capacitor. Now next circuitry is called as soft charging circuit. So we have capacitors and we have a choke. So you can see that this is nothing but an inductor here. So this inductor is shown here. This will act as choke, and we have a capacitor bank here. So you can see this capacitor highlighted here. And using a soft charger which consists of resistor and a breaker circuit, you can charge it. So when capacitor is charged, this switch will act as open switch and power is dissipated into this. So this will avoid overcharging of the capacitor. When the capacitor is not charged, this switch will act as closed switch and it will keep on charging the capacitor. So by this way, we can keep the DC link voltage constant, and this DC link will act as an input to the three-phase inverter. Now next part is three-phase inverter. Now this inverter consists of three legs: first leg, second leg and third leg. So this will convert DC voltage into alternating voltage, whose V and F will be controlled. So here you can see three legs. So each leg here is mounted by two IGBTs. So you can see that IGBTs are used, and all these IGBTs for three legs, we have three sets, and each set has two IGBTs implemented inside it. And all these IGBTs are switched on at very high carrier frequency, normally 500 Hz to 1 kHz. Even more than that is also possible. Now we will be controlling the conduction of these IGBTs using control card. We just seen it earlier, and that is setting required voltage and frequency for your drive application. Now let us say how these IGBT work to produce a required voltage and required frequency. At any given point of time, the two devices of upper link and one from lower link conducts, and here you can see that we are using PWM signals. So these PWM signals are generating an AC waveform with three phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, which are 120-degree phase shifted from each other. Now the advantage of PWM is they have low total harmonic distortion content in the output. That's why these inverters are preferred for industry over the voltage source inverter drive. Now let us understand how can we generate a single phase. So for generating this single phase pulse width modulated output, let's say for our phase, we have to use a carrier. So this carrier is shown by this red color. It is a triangular signal, and we have taken a sinusoidal signal that acts as modulating signal. So by controlling the amplitude of this modulating signal, we can change the pulse width. So this is the output. So the comparator takes this carrier and frequency signal as an input, and they generate PWM signals for the different IGBTs of this inverter switches, and the output we get pulse width modulated output. Next is, we saw that output is not looking sinusoidal, output looks square, but as we know that our load is induction motor. Induction motor is not concerned with voltage, it is concerned with the output current. So here if we draw any phase current, let's say this current is drawn, you can see that it looks sinusoidal. There are certain harmonics remain, but we have taken THD to very low level, that is 3 to 4%, and as the nature of current has become more close to the sinusoidal, instead of voltage source inverter, the performance of this inverter will be much better. As we get sinusoidal current, we will get precise torque, we will get constant torque, and we will have a better performance of the 3-phase induction motor. So we have learned about 3-phase induction motor drive. We just simply understood different parts of 3-phase induction motor drive. First part is rectifier, which converts AC voltage into DC voltage. Then the DC voltage is converted into variable voltage and frequency using VBAF control. For this we are making use of IGBTs, and using control card we can set required parameters. All IGBTs are switched on at very high frequency, and they are turned on so that we will be getting required phase voltages. So these phase voltages looks pulse width modulated in the nature, and if we find their total harmonic distortion, it is less than 3% or 4% as per the industrial standard. And when we look to the generation of PWM, we have to make use of carrier signal and a sinusoidal modulating signal, and using these two signal, if we give them to the comparator will generate pulse width modulated signal that further generates a control signal for all the 6 IGBTs, and using this we can get the required voltage. So required voltage is a function of the duty cycle. So if we can change the conduction time of the switches, that means if the duty cycle is changed, voltage can be changed, and if we change the frequency of this modulating signal, we can change the frequency of output signal. So, and this is nothing but the output current of any phase. Other phase current is similar in nature except 120-degree phase shift. So we have understood operation of 3-phase voltage in 3-phase PWM inverter phase induction motor drive. Thank you.